Okay, guys, the last thing we're going to do in this decimal module, we're going to kind of go back to fractions as well, is we're going to make sure we understand how to convert one to the other. And we're going to start with converting a fraction to a decimal. And this is very simple. It seems complicated, but it's very simple. All you do is take your numbers that are behind your decimal place and you make that your numerator, okay? And then there's probably a more technical way to describe this, but I'm going to make it as simple as possible. You put down a 1 and you count decimal places, and however many they are, you make that many zeros, okay? And then you have a fraction that you need to reduce. And we know both of these are divisible by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And that cannot be reduced any further. That's your answer, okay? That's your fraction. That's that decimal converted to a fraction. Now, same thing here. Just take these numbers. 125, okay? No decimal. Just write them down. Make yourself a 1 and count decimal places and put that many zeros, okay? And then this is going to reduce further, but let's just keep it simple for ourselves. And let's start with reducing them both by 5, which if you divide 125 by 5, you get 25. If you divide 1,000 by 5, you get 200. Okay, well, we ought to recognize that there's 4 quarters in a dollar, so there's 4 25s in 100, so there's going to be 8 25s in 200. So if you divide 25 by 25, you're going to get 1. If you do it to 200, you're going to get 8. So that is the fraction that goes along with that decimal place. Now, when you're converting from fraction to decimal, all you do is divide your numerator by your denominator, okay? And you're really going to do this on a calculator, but we're going to do it here just to show you. What you have to do is you're going to have to add back here. You're going to make a decimal place, and it's going to match right up here. And you're going to put a 0, because anytime you're converting to a decimal, obviously there's going to be a decimal, and it's going to be less than 1 because your numerator is always going to be larger than your denominator. So you're going to have to make a decimal place and add a 0 in order to do the division. So 10 will go into 70 7 times, okay? So 7/10, which should be kind of obvious, but that's how you do the work to turn that fraction into a decimal. Now, this one is going to be a little more difficult because you have 9 divided by 16. And you're going to put your decimal place, and you're going to have 90. Now, if you just did this on your calculator, if you just did 9 divided by 16, it's going to show you that you're going to get 0.5625. But let's walk the problem out so I can show you how it works. So 16 will go into 90 5 times. And that is going to give you 16 times 5, 80. Which is going to give you a remainder of 10. And you're just going to make another 0 and make another 0, okay? And then that'll go 6 times. And if we know that's 80, then we know this is 96, okay? And so then you're going to have a remainder of 4, another 0, another 0. 16 will go into 40 2 times, because that's 32. And then you're going to have 8, another 0, another 0. And 80 will evenly divide by 16 5 times, okay? So obviously, you could get stressed as you kept bringing numbers down and having remainders and adding zeros and wonder how long this is going to go on if you're trying to do it by hand, which is why I recommend a calculator. But you can also see, and you would probably, if it was going to go on and on and on and on and on for 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 9, whatever, forever, because of the numbers you were dealing with, you would probably have a stopping point at which it said, decimal place to this number. But so that is how you do the conversions. So when that comes up, you'll know how to do it. It's very, very simple. Don't get intimidated by it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.